Sonny, it all starts with a man named Jim. Jim was born in Cleveland, and he was a gifted athlete who loved the game, whichever game that may be.
Murf's Black Hole of the Internet.
A journey that begins where everything ends.
Jim graduated in 1954 from Orange High School and then received his bachelor's degree at Heidelberg University in 1958 before going on to earn his master's at Indiana University in 1967. There was little doubt that Jim could excel on the athletic field, from one day at Orange High School where he would earn all-league honors as a quarterback before serving as captain of the basketball and golf squad. He captured runner-up honors at the Ohio Athletic Conference Golf Championship twice and captained both the golf and football teams. The late great coach at Heidelberg University, Paul Homeman, knew he had a blue chipper in Jim when the talented signal caller slipped on the Heidelberg uniform for the first time. Jim then served as the captain in 1957, and that year was filled with many successes. One major success came at Baldwin Wallace when this quarterback spoiled their homecoming ceremonies by piling up 122 yards, throwing 8 of 15 passes in the air for 1 touchdown and a 31-6 romp. He would then go on to lead the Ohio Athletic Conference in passing that season. After his success on the field, Jim then turned his attention to the sidelines and collegiate coaching and gave 15 years as an assistant at Heidelberg University, also the University of Dayton, Indiana University, and Notre Dame. While at Indiana, he was the running backs coach, and his successes there earned him the same title for Notre Dame's Fighting Irish. Then one day in 1982, he got a call from his old buddy at Dayton University, Mr. John McVay, who Jim was as an assistant coach for in 1969 through 72, back when Jim was at Dayton. So John McVay was now the 49ers vice president of football administrator, and he asked Jim to join him in the NFL ranks. So by 1993, Jim was a veteran of 25 professional and collegiate football seasons, including time as the Southern Region manager, Southern Region scout for the Niners, 5 seasons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a director of player personnel, and 2 years as the Buccaneers running backs coach before finally his coaching career came to a close. Well, Jim's coaching career began as a football assistant all the way back at Fremont Ross High School in 1958, back when he was going to Heidelberg University. And 35 years later, it ended. But his legacy lives on through today and the unforeseeable future, Sonny. You see, Jim and his wife, Kathy, have 3 grown sons, including Jim Jr., John, and Jay. And growing up, there was no question about the sport of choice in the household. Football put food on their table, it filled their Sunday afternoons at the stadium, and it consumed their dinner time conversation. As a kid, the middle son, John, knew he wanted to be a coach. He was always at his father's side. He attended practice at Indiana, attended practice at Notre Dame, and loved hanging out with all the college players. So what happened to these 3 boys? Well, the oldest, Jim Jr., took after his mom, and he went on to a successful medical career as a doctor in New York City. The youngest brother, Jay, he's currently the head coach of the Washington Redskins. And John, well, I'm sure you guessed by now, is our beloved Chucky, and he's now head coach of the Oakland Raiders for the 2nd time. Jon Gruden has his father's legacy to thank for that. An assistant collegiate coach, an NFL scout, and a man who made the family's business football.
Nice job, Murf. Nice job taking us down the trail that gave us the one Chucky. Murf, I love Jon Gruden. I love the fact that he's back again, but I cannot stand the constant Chucky imagery all over my Facebook, all over Twitter, all basically just social. People are obsessed with Chucky, and hopefully it pans out. Because if this is a horror movie, if this is Chucky 2 and it's a horror movie, that's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. But as he pointed out, Gruden is a lifelong student of the game. When you're a lifelong student, when you're a lifelong learner of the thing you're most passionate about, when you work, but it's the thing you love, it's like you never work. And so Gruden The benefit of him, yes, he hasn't coached in quite a few years, but he is not away from the game. He is a student of the game. He loves the game, and he's been in a unique opportunity to see the best of the collegiate as they transition to the NFL, and he's also been able to go to every NFL stadium for the last several years, check out their facilities, talk to all the coaches, gain some insight as just an analyst, and now he's going to come back and in his mastermind of a head put it all together and hopefully create 10 straight years of 16-0 seasons in the regular season and winning Super Bowls, right? He's a football junkie. That's who you want as your coach. Del Rio was cool. We thought he was this tough guy, but he wasn't. Gruden is. He's a tough guy, but he's also a football junkie, and he has that desire to see the Raiders win. If you ask me, you got a lifelong student of the game, you got a guy who loves the Raiders, and you got a guy who's hungry to make a name for himself. Because here's the thing with Gruden, every year it was always, how could you pull Gruden out of the booth? I mean, think about it, man. He was the guy. He was looked at as every year that he didn't come back to coaching, his legacy grew, right? Every year he didn't come back, his legacy grew that much more, and he's taking a big risk. He's taking a risk to his brand. He could have been in the booth for the rest of his life and had a nice, comfy life, and everybody would have said, what if with Jon? But now he's taking a big risk, coming back and putting his legacy on the line. You don't think that dude's hungry? You don't think he's going to be out there knowing that every other team wants to punk him? Oh, man, dude. You got to think Gruden's going to come back with a vengeance, and it's not going to take a long time to do it.
He's got a life spent in coaching. He's got a family. He's got a life spent in coaching, and there's no reason to believe that any of it's going to fall off. He's also quoted, as asking his dad way back when, you get paid for this? Like, he was just shocked that that was what his dad got paid for, because he loved it. And if, they, like you said, if you do what you love, then, you never work a day in your life. So it's in his blood, man. And I think we got nothing but positive things to look forward to.